back to this House of Walls. My name is Ashley, and on this channel I love to share all things homeschooling and books. Today we are in the homeschool room, so we're going to talk about homeschooling. Alright, so today is January homeschool wrap-up. January overall was a pretty good month. It was a little broken up. We kind of broke up our Christmas break a little bit, so we did come right back into school on January 2nd and schooled for that week, because then we took the following week off. So that was kind of nice. It kind of gave us a little taste of some school and a schedule, and then we went and had a fun family vacation and then came back and got back into it. We also, at that first week in January, hit our halfway point, and as of right now, we are on track to finish during the time frame that I am hoping to finish, which I think is like the Friday before Memorial Day, and then that will give us a small summer break. It's kind of a mashup between year-round homeschool and not. So we're on track. So there's not any really big updates. We didn't do any big curriculum changes. I think we have kind of found what is working for right now. But let's talk about some books that we read. So my third grader, he had a really good reading month. In that first kind of week between the holidays and our vacation, he read Frog and Toad all year. This is way below grade level, but it was the last Frog and Toad book that we had to read, and so I definitely wanted to squeeze it in, and it actually worked out great because I think there's only there's 5 stories in here, and the last one is about Christmas Eve, which was right after the holidays, and so that was a little bit fun. He also read 2 Dragon Masters books. So he did Dragon Masters Secret of the Water Dragon. This is book 3. And book 4 is Power of the Fire Dragon. So these, let's see, he's finishing up the 5th one right now, and then that's all that we have. He's really wanting to get to some bigger chapter books, and so I have definitely stepped up how much he reads in a day, because they tend to have quite a bit of pictures, and so I know that he wants to finish reading the Dragon Masters series for what we have, and so I just want him to step it up with how much he is reading every day so that we can step up our chapter book reading. And then we did 2 read alouds together. And so our first one was Heartwood Hotel, The Greatest Gift. This is the second in the Heartwood Hotel series. Every single one of them takes place in a different season. So of course this one is over winter and kind of like their holiday times, everything like that. Really great to be back in this series, and it was a nice sweet story. And then I have this Junior Classics of Tom Sawyer, and this was a good one to read. We are doing US history, and so I thought that this was a great time to kind of squeeze in this Junior Classics. He liked it. It brought up some good discussions and things like that. So it was good. Then my 7th grader read March Towards Thunder. This is part of Build Your Library, and so this was his reader that he did. And this follows a 15-year-old Native American from Canada, joins the Irish Brigade in the Civil War and fights in the Civil War. I think that he liked it. Yeah, I think he liked it. And then he also read The Prairie Thief. So this on the back, it says that it's a delightful mashup of Little House on the Prairie and the Spiderwick Chronicles. I don't think that he liked this one as much, but he read it and there's nobody complaining about it, so I'll take it. And then our literature read aloud that we do together was Sugar, and this is following a 10-year-old girl named Sugar who she works on a sugar plantation after slavery has been abolished. And so it was a really good read aloud. There were a lot of things to talk about, a lot of character growth, and so I really liked it. And I think my son did too. Alright, So then other than that, like I said, there's not a whole lot to talk about. We haven't had any big, huge changes, but I just wanted to pull out some curriculum that my kids are liking for the most part and kind of talk about it. So for my 3rd grader, he is using Cursive Kickoff, and he has finally gotten to the cursive part of this book. So I really like this beginning cursive book because it does start with manuscript review, and about half of it is manuscript review. But he has been so excited to finally get into the cursive. He actually asks to do handwriting, and he's just so proud of himself for doing cursive. So that is a big win. History Quest, no surprise, this is always a win for our family. I think that we found a good schedule for doing it. So Mondays we read the first part of the chapter, which tends to be kind of like where a lot of the main like details and facts come from. Wednesday we do the history hop, so that's the second part of the chapter, so you actually leap back in time and go and meet somebody from that time, tend to learn more about that time that we are studying. And then Fridays we kind of use it as our wrap up if there's an extra book or a project. We also have some copy work that he's not crazy about, but we do it because it just helps kind of wrap up that whole chapter. So just to show, we are using, a spiral bound notebook to kind of put any extra worksheets in. So last week we wrapped up the month doing the Roaring 20s, and so that was really good. There was a clear discussion of, oh, look at, the Roaring 20s, but also all the underlying things that were not okay during that time. And so I love that History Quest brings those subjects out, and he and I had some amazing discussions about it. But in here, in his notebook, he does have the picture for his history hop. He is not my big coloring kid, and so I don't push it anymore. He just has to glue it in and take a look at it, see what's going on in the picture, and then we can move on. And then we do have our history hop kind of map and timeline, and then we write a little bit. And so that's a lot of fun to then go back and kind of figure that out. And then this is his copy work. This is all in the study guide. I, at the beginning of the year, type it out. We've done this style for 3 years now. And it works really well that this is the copy work. This is the dictation passage, but we just use it as fill in the blank. And it's working really well. All right, and then for my 7th grader, I just wanted to pull some things out. He is making some amazing progress, and I'm really proud of him. And I think some of that is Build Your Library. He does it with not really any complaint, and so that is a win. I have set up here, this is his old History Quest. At the beginning of the year, we were doing it as a group subject, but decided to separate and do different things. So I go through probably monthly and type up everything that is in the Build Your Library PDF and type it out so that he has it clearly here in his folder, so he can look and be like, oh, I need to do week 8, day 5, and he can see everything that he needs to do. And this is really working well. I think we are both enjoying him doing these presidential profile worksheets as well. So this is one side of it, and then he has the back as well. And those are going really, really well. I think that Build Your Library is something that we are definitely going to be sticking with. And then the last thing for my 7th grader that I want to talk about is writing. We had been doing IEW Structure and Style 1B at the beginning of the school year. He had done it last year and we took it slower. So he was about halfway done with 1B at the beginning of the school year, which is totally fine. I'm cool with that. But I think as it got to the lessons where you're adding in multiple source texts, just became a little much. So we took maybe a 1 or 2 month little break from it. But I did say I wanted to get back to it, and he's being a good sport about it. And we are just taking it really slowly. He is learning a lot from it, and I am really proud of that. Here we are. This is part of February now as I'm filming, but he did just finish a week lesson with it where he had to use 3 different source texts and write a 3-paragraph essay about it, and it went really, really well. I'm fine with that. If we have to slow things down, well, that's less curriculum that I have to buy immediately. And as long as he is grasping it and learning those amazing techniques in the curriculum, I am totally fine with that. So I'm really proud of his work for it. All right, other than that, I kind of think that's it. I don't know. We didn't have a lot of extra things going on, which was nice. I had some health things going on, so we didn't have things like co-op or sports or anything like that. So I was able to really kind of deal with my health stuff and focus on school. I think at this point, we're now working towards the end of the school year. We've got a pretty good feel for everything that we're doing, and so we're just gonna keep chugging along. So with that, if you like these types of videos or anything else that I post here on this channel, make sure to like and subscribe down below. I definitely have some more homeschool content coming out as we are getting closer to the kind of busy planning season. And then of course I come on here and talk about books too, because that's what I really, really enjoy. So keep an eye out for those videos, and I will be back soon.